the last few weeks, we've been looking at free online course management systems. There's a lot of applications out on the web that are saying they have this kind of functionality and offering this functionality. So a few weeks ago, we took a look at a bunch of them, narrowed it down to 4 to try out, and have been doing that over the last few weeks, setting up a little mini course in each one and doing a review. This week, I look at SchoolRack, and we draw some conclusions about what we've looked at over the last 4 weeks and some next steps we might like to take. Alright, SchoolRack was easy to sign up for. I'll not show that here. It's just the traditional kind of thing. Out on the main page, you click sign up, give a username, you get a confirming email, you click on it, and you're in. It was very straightforward. And then the structure that you have here is one that allows you to create web pages and put posts on those pages, but you can't get too much more complex than that in terms of nesting pages to create a more complex site. You can also post files and make them available in your pages. And then there's a separate section in which you can create groups, you can create assignments, and you can create discussion boards. You can associate the assignments with the groups, but the discussion board seems to be just kind of global. It's not something you can break out. So what happens is, this is a great site if you're, say, a K-6 teacher and you want to create a classroom website where you're going to interact, you're going to share content, but you don't need a lot of complexity or robustness. And more importantly, you don't need to break it up a lot into different, if you wanted to use this to host 5 different courses, it doesn't really seem to fit that mold very well. So I'll show you the little mini course website I created in a minute, but first let me show you how I created it. Under Pages and Posts, I created 2 pages, a welcome page and a page for the blogging, this little workshop called Intro to Blogging, the Classroom Workshop. And within those pages I created a few posts. One is a real simple welcome message, and then the next 2 are the more elaborate content. And you can see the kinds of little HTML interface they set up to work on creating these posts. It was real straightforward. So just typing text, using some simple formatting, and saving it to create the pages and the posts. And I also, under students and parents, I created a group just to have a group where I was trying to break out the functionality, thinking about if I were to host multiple courses or elements in here. And you do have the ability to do some of that different, have different groups and get some breakout. So for example, when you create an assignment, you associate it within a group, and then those students that are in that group only see those assignments. But at the same time, things like the discussion board, for example, while it can have different topics, it didn't appear that those could be associated with only certain groups. And similarly, under the website, when you create the pages and posts, those also did not seem to be limited to just certain groups. So it's a little convoluted. You've got some split out functionality and some functionality that's not split out. But again, that being said, creating the pages, putting posts on them, creating assignments, you can also uplink files that can be linked to your pages, and having, there is at least a discussion board. There's a lot of good functionality here for free, and if you're just creating a classroom website, this is a great way to get started. So let me show you what the website looks like. If I click on View My Website here, it's going to bring up the website for me. Let me make that full screen. And so we see there that I've used a simple theme. There's about a dozen of them out there that give you this nice kind of background and some structure, so you don't have to create all that. And here I see the little welcome post I created, and I see the page that I created for the Intro to Blogging workshop, and on that a couple of posts. I created 2 posts that puts them automatically one after the other, just like on a website. And so that's here, and that's what it looks like if you're just anybody with free-form access to this. It's not it's open if you just want to let so parents, for example, could see this just fine if they wanted to. I'm not sure that you can cut off access to anyone. Here I'm checking out how a student would access this this site and what it would mean to them, because obviously, so anybody can go and access the site itself, but to participate in a group in the assignments and see what it looks like to be in this from a student perspective, I created a student account, and then back here on my teacher account under the group section is this code. And if I take that code and I log out here and I go in and I log in as a student, I will then have an opportunity to join a group, and if I put that group code, so I have to have given that group code. I already did it in this case, but I have to have given that group code to the student. They can join the group, and then out here they're going to see, they're going to have a dashboard that shows they're in this group, who the teacher is, and they're going to have an assignment section. So here we see my assignment. The assignments are real simple. Just they have a name, they have a due date, and some points they're worth. And to turn them in, they're basically going to link an attachment. And I should say that as a teacher, a couple things about this. First of all, as a teacher, you don't really see how the students see the assignments. That was a little confusing at first until I created a student account and went in as that student. And in addition to that, as a teacher, if you want to associate your own attachments to your assignment, you need to pay the $6 a month fee. But students don't need to do that in order to submit attachments. So I hope that quick overview gives you a good sense of what you can do with SchoolRack and how you go about doing some of it, and helps you decide if you want to consider SchoolRack for use in your classroom. And now, having wrapped up that quick look at SchoolRack, I do want to kind of place that within the context of the larger effort we've been involved here, which is having narrowed down 9 different online course management systems that provide some level of free functionality, and selected 4 to look at. We've looked at my iCourse, Our Campus, SchoolRack, and we could not really look at Schoology because I had issues there where I couldn't proceed forward, and maybe I'll go back and try a little harder. But with each of these, I provided a little summary out here on the website about the pros and cons of each, although I wasn't really thrilled. I didn't really get what I was hoping for. So I decided to take a quick look back at the 5 that I had set aside originally and see that 2 of them are really probably worth looking at further. Others were either so clearly not really going to give you much for free, or just were limited in terms of what you were going to be able to do with the numbers of users and courses, so you'd hit a dead end pretty quick. But these 2 may have more to offer, edu2.org and Ecto Learning, and I'm going to go ahead and take a good look at them in the next week or 2 before we then wrap up this and conclude what we can and move on to other topics. Alright, so that wraps up our look at SchoolRack and some of the related conclusions and next steps with that overall effort. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank anybody who happened to sign up this week or in the last 2 weeks since I launched the new 2011 free Education Technology Resources ebook on the site. I got a lot of new subscribers and really appreciate it. And if you haven't stopped over there and just signed up for blog posts by email, please take a minute to do so and get your free ebook. So thanks a lot. Take care.